All of these big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. Takes any of them, all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
So remember when Katt Williams pulled up on Club Shay Shay and dropped that bombshell? Yeah, he was dead serious, and ever since that moment, the industry has been in chaos. People keep getting called out left and right, and it does not look like Katt plans to slow down anytime soon. He jumped back into the spotlight again during this whole situation involving Usher and Justin, making bold claims about how Justin was put into questionable situations early in his career involving Diddy, which only made everything sound even more wild and uncomfortable. Right after Katt said all that, Usher popped up in an interview and started publicly backing Diddy, which raised a lot of eyebrows. But honestly, some people are not even surprised because Usher has also stood by Russell Simmons, despite all the controversy surrounding him and his move overseas to avoid legal trouble. And if you missed how this even started, it traces back to when Justin and Usher were reportedly seen having a tense moment at Beyoncé and Jay-Z's event, and things have been messy ever since. At an Oscars after-party, things reportedly got tense fast. According to TMZ, Usher approached Justin with serious energy and visible frustration, and it quickly turned into a heated exchange. That moment alone had people talking crazy because everyone started wondering what could have pushed things to that level, especially since Usher was one of the first major artists to support Justin early on. When Scooter Braun first discovered Justin, Usher played a big role in bringing him into the spotlight, so seeing things turn this awkward and distant raised a lot of questions. Over time, their relationship seemed to shift, going from close connections to Justin keeping his distance. Back in 2024, there were even reports that Usher wanted Justin to appear during his Super Bowl halftime show, but Justin never showed up, which only added more mystery to the situation. Now, here is where things get even more uncomfortable. When Justin first signed under Usher, there were decisions made about mentorship, and that is how Justin ended up spending a full 24 hours at Diddy's mansion.
I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, and we gonna go full crazy.
That moment has been talked about for years, and not in a good way. Justin even shared a video about that time, and it is still on his YouTube channel. You can clearly see the shift in his energy. At the start, he looked excited, like he thought it was going to be a fun experience. But as things went on, it became obvious that the situation was not what he expected, and the vibe changed in a way that made people uncomfortable just watching it. At the time, that whole situation seemed harmless on the surface, but looking back, people started connecting dots and questioning what really went on. Justin's life took a sharp turn as he struggled with serious personal issues, and everything about his behavior changed. He later leaned heavily into his faith and got married sooner than many expected, which had people thinking he was trying to distance himself from the pressures of the industry. But even with those changes, the spotlight never fully left him alone. Some believe this is exactly why he became so protective when Billie Eilish stepped into the industry. He understood how intense and overwhelming things can get for young artists, and it looked like he genuinely wanted to make sure she did not go through the same kind of experiences.
I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second.
Now, this is where Katt Williams enters the picture again. If you've been paying attention to what he's been saying over the years, you know he's dropped a lot of hints about how these so-called mentorships can sometimes come with hidden pressure and complicated dynamics. He's even suggested that he faced questionable situations himself earlier in his career, which is why he speaks so strongly on it now. He claims that Diddy offered him $50 million multiple times to come under his wing, but he turned it down every single time because he believed those kinds of deals came with serious strings attached. And when people look at Justin now, they point out how much he has changed over the years, saying he hasn't seemed like himself for a long time, which keeps the conversation going. He also said Diddy wasn't the only powerful figure who approached him with questionable offers. He alleged that Harvey Weinstein tried to pressure him into an inappropriate situation in exchange for a movie role, but he refused and walked away from it. Now, no one is claiming there's absolute proof about what Justin experienced, but people keep pointing at different moments and patterns, saying it raises a lot of questions. Some even believe Usher may have played a part in connecting Justin with certain industry figures early on, since he was the one who introduced Justin to Diddy at the start of his career, which is why this whole situation keeps getting deeper and more talked about. For a long time, rumors about Diddy's behavior have circulated in the industry, with people constantly bringing up stories that raised eyebrows. Usher's name has even been pulled into that conversation, with some claiming there are moments from the past that deserve a closer look. Usher and Diddy go way back to the 90s, when L.A. Reid introduced a very young Usher to him at just 14 years old. At the time, the idea was simple. Diddy would mentor him and help shape his music career. But over the years, people started questioning whether everything in that situation was really as straightforward as it seemed. Those suspicions only grew stronger after Usher's 2005 Essence magazine interview. According to reports from people there, he was open and relaxed during most of the conversation. But when the topic shifted to what really went on during those early days at Diddy's house, his energy reportedly changed fast. He responded by saying, "I want to save some for my book one day. I'll put it this way, there was a lot of sex," which only made people speculate even more. On top of that, an alleged email connected to someone working on Kim Porter's book made rounds online, claiming she wrote about personal details involving Diddy and Usher. The email allegedly claimed that the book included details about Diddy's private relationships, references to recorded encounters, and serious health accusations, along with mentions of conflicts involving people close to him. It also brought up claims involving Usher and even referenced a tense situation connected to his family. That is where things start to feel even more unclear and controversial. What really stands out to many people is the idea that, despite rumors of uncomfortable experiences early on, Usher has continued to stay closely connected with Diddy and others in his circle, including Russell Simmons. That loyalty has raised a lot of questions, especially as more allegations and lawsuits have come into the spotlight. In one case, involving producer Lil Rod, Usher's name was reportedly mentioned, which only added more speculation about what may have been happening behind the scenes. Because of all this, some people believe there are deeper ties and reasons why Usher has never publicly spoken out against Diddy. That belief only grew stronger after a recent interview where Usher made it clear that he still stands by Diddy, which kept the conversation going and made the situation feel even more complicated.
I don't have anything negative to say about Sean Combs because my experience was not what the world has seen and how he's been, misrepresented.
Now, with everything coming out and more people speaking up, the pressure around this situation keeps building. Katt Williams has not backed down either. He keeps doubling down on what he said, making it clear he believes there are still a lot of hidden truths in the industry that have not fully come to light. And every time he speaks, it sends people right back into these conversations. At the same time, fans are looking at Justin differently now. Old clips, interviews, and moments from his early career are being re-examined, and people are starting to question what was really happening behind the scenes during those years. Some of those clips hit different now, especially knowing how things played out later in his life. Meanwhile, Usher staying publicly supportive of Diddy continues to keep him in the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. People are watching closely, waiting to see if he will ever address the rumors directly or if he will keep standing firm no matter what comes next. And with more attention on this situation every day, it does not look like this story is fading anytime soon. Now, the situation is reaching a point where more people in the industry are being pulled into the conversation, and it is starting to feel bigger than just a few names. Every new detail or claim adds another layer, and the public is paying close attention to who speaks up and who stays silent. That silence alone is making people question a lot more than before. At the center of it all, the idea of mentorship in the industry is being looked at in a completely different way. What used used to sound like opportunity and guidance is now being questioned, with people wondering what really goes on behind closed doors. And because of everything that's been said, those relationships are no longer being viewed the same way. Katt Williams keeps pushing the conversation forward, while Justin's past continues to be picked apart piece by piece. Usher, on the other hand, remains in a complicated position, with his actions and statements being analyzed from every angle. And as more stories, interviews, and alleged details keep surfacing, this situation is only getting more intense, with no clear ending in sight. Now, everything is hitting a point where the public is no longer just watching, they are demanding answers. Social media is flooded with people breaking down clips, connecting timelines, and calling out patterns they believe have been ignored for years. Every resurfaced video and old interview is being treated like a clue, and the pressure is getting louder by the day. What makes this even more intense is how fast narratives can shift. One minute, someone is being praised, and the next, their past is being put under a microscope. That is exactly what is happening here, as more attention is being placed on decisions, relationships, and moments that once seemed normal, but now feel questionable. At the same time, there's a growing expectation for accountability across the board. People are no longer satisfied with vague responses or silence. They want clear answers, and they want them now. And with Katt Williams continuing to speak, Justin's past staying in focus, and Usher's stance not changing, this situation keeps building more momentum. Right now, it feels like everything is on edge, and one new reveal could shift the entire story again. Let's not forget the wild claims that Diddy's former bodyguard made about Usher a while back. According to Jean Massé, Usher allegedly witnessed a lot of what was going on behind the scenes, and even had proof of certain situations, but has been hesitant to bring anything forward. That alone had people raising eyebrows and questioning what is really being kept quiet. Jean also spoke on rumors about Diddy and Usher's early connection, claiming things went way too far when Usher was very young. Some of the statements he made were intense and controversial, and they quickly spread online, adding even more heat to an already explosive situation. People were shocked at how far those allegations went, and it only made the entire story feel heavier. As expected, the internet had a lot to say. One person said, "Yeah, Justin Bieber should have chin-checked his jaw and slept that man on the spot. He ain't do enough." Another said, "Wonder if that's why Justin turned down the halftime show with Usher." The reactions have been nonstop, and everyone seems to have their own take on what really happened. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Katt calling all of this out? And do you believe these claims explain Justin's behavior over the years? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and check out the next video on your screen.